absolutely beautiful graphic you're seeing on your screen is none other than the launch of T&T Premier Football League Season 2. Are you ready? Well, we definitely are ready. And if you're not, don't worry, because we have Amiel Mohammed in studio with us this morning, the General Secretary of the Trinidad and Tobago, or TTFA rather, going to talk to us about Season 2 and what we can look forward to. Good morning, Amiel, and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Natasha. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you with us on the show this morning. Thanks so much for being here. How are you going so far?
I'm good. Early, but I'm good.
Wonderful. Well, we are here with you. We are in this together. Team effort, to say the least. So let's talk a little bit about Season 1, particularly with the TT Premier Football League. Can you give us a little recap?
Yeah, no problem. We launched the TTPFL as a new structure of elite senior men's football in Trinidad and Tobago earlier in 2023. And Season 1 ran for, there would be 2 tiers. So the Tier 1 ran for roughly 4 months. I think it was some pulsating, exciting action. We had Defence Force claiming the league title and then the knockout title. And then we had Tier 2, which ran a good few other months, 1 or 2 small delays, and that concluded with Phoenix out of Tobago lifting the title in October.
Nice. Okay, so what's the difference between Tier 1 and Tier 2?
Tier 1 would be the highest division in the land, and Tier 2 would be just below it. Tier 1 would be primarily professional teams, whereas Tier 2 would be primarily semi-professional teams. The whole idea behind the construct of this new entity and organization is that we kind of have everything streamlined, all under the TTFA umbrella. And then as we kind of develop and move along over the next few seasons, they will now start to have relegation and promotion.
Interesting. Now, this is something that, of course, is essentially it's brand new, for want of a better expression. Let's talk about the learning curves from Season 1. What would you say were some of the main things that were takeaways that you know, all right, for Season 2, this is what we need to work on, this is what we need to change, this is what we're going to keep?
Well, I think in the construction of the entire project, which was kind of developed in collaboration with FIFA and with the government of Trinidad and Tobago, we spent a lot of time constructing how do we get football, league football, back up and running, especially after COVID and all of these other kind of factors. So once we kind of established that, then we said, all right, we're going to run this truncated 4 to 5 month season for the Tier 1, see how best it evaluates. We've literally tracked every single budgeted dimension down to the penny. We've tracked all of the gate receipts. We've tracked all of these different items in a lot of detail. And persons could even see the Season 1 full report, which is roughly 80-something pages. That is also available on the TTFA website at this point in time. So based on that now, we're able to now say from a more educated position, all right, these are the areas where we need to improve on. We know that marketing is one. Shout out to now for giving us the opportunity to kind of highlight these aspects. So we're collaborating with FIFA on these aspects too, where we really want to kind of build, we want the clubs to build along with us, help to build their capacity. We saw where they stood up to the test in certain aspects and where that they need to improve as well. And we have to improve hand in hand from an administrative standpoint, probably processing things a bit quicker. So it's all a matter of trying to tighten up on those aspects, because now Season 2 is going to be probably twice as long as Season 1.
Twice as long. Okay, so let's talk about Season 2. What would you say are some of the main highlights to look forward to?
I think persons are going to be excited because they didn't really know what to expect from Season 1. So now they've got their appetite whet a bit. So now it's a matter of they have expectations. You see Defence Force revving up. A lot of the players on Defence Force were the ones who were starring for the national team on Monday and over the last couple of games in the Nations League, whereas you have all of the title contenders, you have all of the title pretenders, persons who feel that they should be up there and running. So they are coming out hard for this season, which will run until from today until roughly May, June.
Wow. Okay, so starting today is starting this evening, right? So can we get a bit of details about what's happening this evening?
This evening at the Hazy Crawford Stadium, we'll have the launch, and we invite all persons to come out. We're actually going to have an opening ceremony from 5:30.
Lovely.
Because we know that we still, at the end of the day, it's Trinidad and Tobago, it's Trinbago. So we have to add that cultural flavor to the start. And then we will kick off with Police FC versus Eagles FC. Eagles were previously Canupia. We spoke about marketing being a focus. Canupia has decided to rebrand. So they are now Eagles FC. And that will be at 6 p.m. at the Hazy Crawford Stadium. And then at 8 p.m., we have the Defense Force, the defending champions, versus the Tier 2 champions, which is Phoenix FC. Phoenix were allowed to come up into Tier 1 because we had two other teams, traditional powerhouses in W Connection and San Juan Jabote, who for differing reasons decided that they're just going to sit out this year, kind of restructure so that they could come back better in season 3. So we decided, okay, that's a great opportunity to have the first Tobago team ever to play in Tier 1. So we basically have Phoenix taking on Defense Force in a really enticing battle.
Okay, fascinating. So 2 matches, so an opening ceremony, let's start there. 2 matches this evening, and one of the things that you've mentioned are some of these teams, which going back to what we spoke about a little bit earlier, you spoke about, the data collection. How was the interest from the teams? Would you say it peaked more after season 1, or have you had that same vested energy since the beginning?
I think it has definitely peaked more since season 1. You see a lot of the different dynamics. Persons have been clamoring, when is the league starting back? When is the league starting back? That has been the kind of energy that we've been hearing. That's the kind of energy that we kind of want. The players want to start back. So once that is there, I think that we're in a very attractive place to kind of kick on.
Nice. And what about the public's interest?
The public, I think, even from the data analytics, it exceeded our expectations, and we really have to thank them for coming on board. Because just to give a bit of context, in the budgeting for season 1, we only estimated probably gate receipts in and around 50,000. We were trying to be dead on bare dregs, bottom of the barrel conservative. We exceeded that 10 times over.
Wow.
So, and we have it measured, whether it be specific game days, the specific times of those matches. So now we kind of trying to sculpt our fixtures based on those trends with the fans. So the fans seem to be coming back out. We love and appreciate that. Now it's a matter of getting more fans. So seeing, for example, you never know you at a game, you never know Shaq at a game. Those are the kind of things we want to see.
This is absolutely fantastic. You never know. Natasha, Shaq, Iyenka, all there at the game, taking in, of course, what's going to be an incredible evening. Now, it's beautiful to hear that we have interest from the teams, we have interest from the public, and it really shows that this is the start of something that is going to change our sports culture in Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm sure that would have been one of the key objectives when this began, correct?
Absolutely. It's all about developing that ecosystem, because the senior men's football has been the flagship in a lot of different aspects, whether it be from the national team or from the league dynamic. So it's important that each one of them kind of feed into each other. We've seen the senior men's national team head coach has spoken about the importance of having a league, having it run for a particular length of time so that the players could be match fit, so that potential new players have that platform to showcase themselves to be eligible for selection. So once all of these different aspects feed into each other, and then we could go into the women's football, the league football, it's all different dominoes that kind of have to coalesce and knock down so that Trinidad and Tobago football and brand Trinidad and Tobago football could really start rebuilding.
Definitely. And we need to have you back for another conversation, because you mentioned women, and I know there are some who are ready to jump in and take charge. Now, before we wrap our conversation, though, and hopefully go on to another one sometime soon, are there still tickets available for this evening, and where can we get tickets if so?
Most definitely. The price for tickets are $40 for the doubleheader, and that will be the price of all doubleheaders throughout the season, because even on Sunday, we have one single header, which is $25. That will be at Point Fortin, Mahaika. So Heritage Petroleum Point Fortin will take on the Hawkata Rangers, Terminex La Hawkata Rangers. And then we also have another doubleheader at the Arima Velodrome. But since we kind of mentioned we want to cater to the fans and the marketing aspects, there is also a group special.
Nice.
So 5 tickets for 180, and it's all available at the stadiums themselves and at the venues.
All right, wonderful. Well, Amiel, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's been a pleasure. I know that you have a long day ahead of you, and looking forward to seeing more of this throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Have a great day.
Thanks a lot.
Trinidad and Tobago, Amiel Mohammed, General Secretary of the TTFA, sharing with us what is going to be an incredible evening. So if you haven't found something to do yet, you know what you need to go and do now. You also need to stay tuned because there's more coming up right here on the Now Morning Show.